We get into the football news of the night surrounding the Essendon Football Club, which has announced a review of sorts tonight into its player development, into its coaching and also into its recruiting. And the chairman of the Essendon Football Club, Paul Brasher, sent this out to fans tonight.
The actions that come out of this review are likely to be incremental in terms of additional resources rather than transformational. So first of all, player development. And I don't just mean development of the younger players, but development of everybody in this club and what we need to achieve that. Connected to that is the coaching around where do we need additional coaching resources? Are there particular skills? Are there particular areas that we need to invest more in? And we're looking at that. Support for the coaches, including support for Ben and the other coaches. What do they need? And then thirdly, the recruiting and list management area is one that's going to be taking on a lot more importance this year because of the opportunities we have.
Caro, curious timing, some mixed messages suggested behind the scenes too. What can you tell us about this statement to fans tonight?
Well, Paul Brasher also said that the review would be led by the club's football director, Sean Wellman, with additional support from Kevin Sheedy and Simon Madden, the two other footy board members, when needed. Also talked about membership. What's interesting to me, we've spoken to Xavier Campbell tonight, and Xavier's view is that you're always reviewing, we're always doing reviews. There is no way that this should be in any way looked at as the coach being under pressure. But we heard what the President said after saying that there was no review not very long ago
Back
at all.
3 weeks ago is the quote, as we have a look at that while you're discussing this, Caro.
Well, so he said that there was no review. He's clearly said that there's a review tonight, and really interestingly, the fact that we've spoken about Adrian Dodoro, that here we are from a few weeks ago, Adrian Dodoro and his performance and the performance of recruiting and list management at the club over a long period of time. I have no doubt, Craig, that Ben Rutten will have several new assistant coaches by the time he's coaching again in 2023. I still believe he'll be the coach in 2023, but the board are demanding answers. Now, before we move on to what happened on the weekend, can we just hear what the President, Paul Brasher, had to say about his CEO, Xavier Campbell?
The second thing that I wanted to cover is the extension of Xavier Campbell's contract as our CEO by a further 2 years. And I should say at the outset, I've had one or two people say to me they thought it was inappropriate they should read about this in the paper before the club informed them and questioned whether we were trying to pull some sort of swift one. To the second question, the answer is absolutely no, but I should apologise for the fact that you didn't hear it from us first.
So Paul Brasher deciding to apologise on that. On the review, Caro, now, I reckon the club would sell this, Hutchie, as, and we've spoken to Xavier tonight, we're not reviewing, this isn't a review, we're constantly reviewing. But when you say on May 8 that we are definitely not doing a review, and then 3 weeks later you send something out to your members calling it this review, that's a direct quote. Now, I know firsthand...
Why fear the word, though?
Well, because it wasn't that...
They should be having a review.
But I tell you why they fear the word, Caro, is we both remember not long ago now when Luke Sayers decided his first port of call as new Carlton president would be coming in and reviewing the entire football department. The anxiety that causes amongst the senior players, Cornsey, that causes amongst the coach. We know what it did to David Teague. Now, these are two very different scenarios.
Didn't it, across the football?
If you're going to say, on one hand, we're not doing a review, you can't then let your chairman, in a message to members, say the words, this review.
And where does the money come from, Caro? So all of that is related to the soft cap, coaching development, additional resources he mentioned a couple of times. So
they have 6.5.
Where are they going to...
I wouldn't think Ben Rutten would be. I mean, I think they've got an expensive assistant coaching panel, but Ben Rutten would be in the bottom 6 paid coaches in the AFL.
No, but he spoke about additional resource. Well, surely you're spending 100% of what you're allowed to right now.
No, you would have to be. So they're going to have...
Well, we're going to come to that later in the show, but there's a big battle going on that will come to a head in a couple of weeks about coaches' wages.
And when you're under the pump, issues like this that happen at quarter time on the weekend get highlighted and they get manifested in a way that perhaps they shouldn't. So I actually don't mind this. I think this is what good clubs do. You have a discussion about this on field. Clearly it didn't go the way. You would love for him to engage rather than walk off there, Darcy Parish, and you want to make sure your house is absolutely in order with everything that you're demanding of your teammates. And I'm not sure that has been the case defensively with some of his efforts, Darcy Parish, this year. But at a good club, no issue. When you're going through a rough time like this, this looks pretty ugly, and I don't think they'd review that and think that was a good look at it.
There was a reason, Craig, and all of you, that the President has put this out tonight.
What's the reason?
We've won 2 games, and members are seeing the stuff that Kane's just highlighted, another disappointing loss, and they're filthy.
You've seen stories like this all the time. Are you concerned for the coach?
Look, I feel as though they're still backing the coach. But, you know, there's always going to be... But I certainly think there will be wholesale change. Not Josh Marnie. I reckon he's completely safe and will be having a big say in what's going on. But I fear for a couple of the assistants.
And if Clarkson is available, then that review has to include a call to...
Well, he is
check
available.
On his we're still available when they finish it.